What's the most ruthless move? After watching this, you just might feel a chill down your spine. Story 1. The Power of Quiet Revenge. One morning, Mr. Lee was riding his bike, taking his young son to school. Out of nowhere, a luxury car driving on the wrong side of the road hit them, knocking them both to the ground. A woman stepped out of the car, impeccably dressed and clearly wealthy. Instead of apologizing, she began yelling at Mr. Lee. "What's wrong with you? Are you blind? Can't you see a car coming? Why didn't you get out of the way?" Mr. Lee opened his mouth to respond, but his son tugged on his sleeve and stopped him. Instead, the boy looked up at the woman and said softly, "We're really sorry, ma'am. We're fine. You can go." The wealthy woman gave them a dismissive glance, got back in her car, and sped off. As soon as she was out of sight, the boy turned to his father and said calmly, "Call the police. Tell them a car driving on the wrong side of the road hit us and drove away. I got the license plate number." This story is an example of subtle revenge. Staying calm on the surface, but striking back strategically when the time is right. Story 2. Clever manipulation. Once upon a time, there was a man who was deeply afraid of his wife. She wasn't able to have children, but he didn't dare bring up the idea of adoption or even consider having a child with someone else. Years passed, and they remained childless. The man's younger brother noticed his growing unhappiness and decided to step in with a clever plan. One afternoon, the brother showed up at their house with a tape measure and began carefully measuring the backyard. The wife, curious and slightly annoyed, asked, "What are you doing?" The brother replied matter-of-factly, "Well, since you and my brother don't have any children, eventually this house and land will pass down to my kids, right? I'm just measuring it now so I can plan for the future." The wife's face turned red with anger. Furious and panicking at the thought of losing her home, she immediately ran inside, grabbed her husband, and demanded, "You need to figure this out. Get a surrogate, adopt, do something. But we're not leaving this property to your brother's kids." This story demonstrates how psychological strategy, hitting someone where it hurts, can move mountains without a single direct confrontation. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more wisdom like this. Stewardship Finance Academy, turning you into a confident investor.